Team, happy Monday, welcome back. I hope you're having a fabulous day. You know, it's actually Blue Monday, which is sad but true, pardon the pun. So I hope no one's feeling too blue. I actually hate that saying because I quite honestly, I'm in a great mood and then you hear, oh, it's Blue Monday, and then you're like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be in such a great mood. But anywho, we are where we are. It's another exciting week and I'm excited to pop back on, have a quick catch up. Last week we saw the launch of some incredible projects and this week is much of the same. We have lots going on, lots to discuss. I've pulled together a few highlights of what's going on in the Dubai market this week. So let's jump in. One of the projects I wanted to draw everyone's attention to was the Ellington Properties project that is launching Belgravia Gardens. If you've not heard of Ellington, they are a huge developer over here in Dubai. They have been in the market for about 14 years. Their background, their story, Robert is the guy that you may have seen in the press. Robert, in his previous life, was CEO at Emaar. Now, Emaar are quite arguably actually the biggest developer in the Dubai market. If you've been to Dubai, you'll have seen Emaar branded everywhere. It is a government-backed developer, and Robert was really, really successful at growing that company. 14 years ago, he stepped away from Emaar to actually build his own property company, Ellington Properties. Ellington, since then, have had an incredible journey over the last 14 years. They have really, really established themselves in the market as quality product. Ellington are renowned for identifying incredible areas, delivering on time, and actually under-promising and over-delivering. Their real selling point is their quality. Tenants and people alike love living in the properties. Their reputation is so strong and so incredible. Their properties often outperform others in the market because of their quality, their high standard, and people pay a premium to get into these developments. When they launch new projects, they sell out quickly. They are highly sought after from investors because they know they're buying into a quality product. They know that in 20 years' time, their investment are still going to be one of the top in the market. The quality's still going to be there. There's still going to be a massive tenant demand, and your exit strategies. You've always got more options when it comes to your exit strategy because they are so popular from investors. An interesting story is my brother Tom. He works on the secondary side of things, so he sells a lot of different projects. He sees the test of time with all these developers, and he says hands down sellers get a premium on Ellington stock because they are in so high demand. An excellent example is in JVC. In JVC, Ellington were one of the first to enter the market there. No one had heard of JVC. It wasn't an area of anyone's focus. Ellington came in and genuinely dominated, and this was back 15 years ago. Still to this day, Ellington are one of the most desirable properties in that area, and there's a lot of newer projects since then, a lot of sparkly newer projects and properties with new amenities and all that good stuff, but it's the buyers are still looking for Ellington even if it's older because the quality's still there, the demand's still there. People really buy into the Ellington brand, which for us as an investor is fantastic because it means our capital appreciation is still going to be there. It means they outperform a lot of the others in the market. It's a great brand to start investing in early. So reputation, it ticks a lot of boxes. Now, this particular project, let's start with the location first. This particular project, if I zoom right out, is located here. So it's in inland, it's in Dubai land, which you may have heard of more recently. It's getting a lot of press at the moment. There's a lot of development going on, and it's actually attracting a lot of investment. Now, the first thing you will notice about this location, its area in terms of Dubai as a whole. Dubai currently has one airport sitting up here, but it's been announced that the second airport is being located in Dubai South. So immediately you can see why Dubai land is getting a lot of attention, a lot of development, because it's perfectly situated in the middle of the two, which makes it very accessible from the airport standard point of view. Looking at accessibility then from a tenant perspective or a end user perspective, again, it's in a really great spot. So you can see here, it is sat off the E311, which is Sheikh Zayed Road. It's a main motorway that runs through Dubai, very central. What is also going to benefit this particular area in the long term is literally this weekend, it has just been announced that a new road is going to be built from here, the King's College Hospital, London, Dubai, which runs through Dubai Hills, right the way through Bingo to this spot. So it's going to be very, very accessible. Traffic's not going to be an issue, which is absolutely perfect. All around this area, there's a huge amount of development going on. You've got Silicon Oasis, which is again another real hotspot area. But in particular, if you think about it from an end user, this location, you are surrounded by some of the best schools in Dubai. You have Academic City here, which means families. You've got Academic City, you've got the influx of schools. This is going to be a very much family area. You've got Silicon Oasis just down the road. You've got Global Village on the other side of you. This particular area, it is surrounded by villa communities. It's really been created and developed for families, especially being near all the schools. It makes a lot of sense, right? So you're surrounded by all these villa communities, the likes of Villanova, and which have all seen a tremendous capital appreciation over the last couple of years, purely because so many families are looking for the space. They're looking for more value for money. There's a lot of people that are moving out from the likes of GLT, the marina, starting families who need the space, who want to be close to the schools, and this is a perfect location. It's very, very accessible via the roads, via the airports, and not only that, but soon to be very, very accessible by solar trains. You've heard it here first. Genuinely, when they announce these things anymore, just nothing tends to surprise me. It has been announced that they are building the world's greenest highway in Dubai with the solar-powered trams and urban farms. So this is going to be called the Dubai Green Spine. It's a huge initiative, a huge project. It's going to mean more public transport. It's going to mean it's more accessible. And guess what? It is right outside the door of this new project. In terms of location, I cannot shout about it enough. It's got so much going on. It's accessibility, the types of people you're going to see here. It's going to attract families. It's sat between the two airports. You can see pilots wanting to live here, Emirates staff wanting to live here. It's going to be very, very highly desirable, very, very accessible. All the infrastructure being put in place to really, really combat any sort of traffic issues that may come up along the line. Close to the schools, is already in a built-up, thriving community which has proven to perform incredibly well in terms of capital appreciation over the last couple of years. It is ticking a lot of boxes. Also, Ellington are known for identifying areas early. They were the first ones into JVC, and everyone, all their investors, everyone who bought with Ellington, support them with every single project now because they understand how they work, they understand the capital appreciation that comes with their projects, but also they understand the vision of the directors. And in terms of sites and picking sites, they are incredible. They're always into developments early, which means investors are getting in at the cheapest possible price when it's sand, which is help investors benefit from the capital appreciation, but also the high rental demand that will come with this area because of all the facilities, communities, and the people that's going to attract. So location, it ticks a lot of boxes. We've touched on the green spine. Again, that's going to be massive to help accessibility and bring a lot of development and people to the area. So the development themselves then, backed by Ellington, perfect location. And as you can see, not only is it a perfect location, but it looks beautiful. Now this is quite unique for an Ellington project. So they really, really believe in the vision here, because usually Ellington are one-off buildings and they create the facilities, the community in its building itself. Here they've got this unique opportunity where they're actually creating 4 low-rise properties all around a community, which is perfect for the type of clientele they are trying to attract here. They are wanting families. This is not a shiny brand new tower in downtown or the marina. This is more relaxed. It's for more space. It's for community living. It's for families, and they really, really wanted to bring that into the project. You can see in terms of the design and the vibe of the development, it is set to be very resort style, very spacious, very luxurious, very high end, very hotel. When you see the lobby and you walk in, it wants to give that quality feel. It wants you to make sure to feel like you are walking into a hotel lobby. The facilities are going to have everything anyone would need to stay here. You've got retail, you've got the pools which look beautiful, you've got sports courts. Paddle is so popular nowadays. Reading gardens, kids pools, clubhouses, courtyards, resting areas, skate parks, dog parks. And what Ellington do really, really well is a lot of developers would just try and cram as many apartments as humanly humanly possible into the space they've been given. Ellington take a community approach. They're like, hang on, let's compromise on a few units here to bring in the extra amenities, because we know long term when an investor comes to sell these properties, an end user is buying in and getting access to all of these. It's more valuable to an end user who has access to all these facilities, therefore helping the capital appreciation. So they take the long-term approach. They always design from the tenant in mind and the end user in mind. And again, all these things, having great facilities that are looked after well, attract better buyers, help with the capital appreciation. You're going to attract better renters. Renters aren't going to move as well. Remember, the types of people this is going to attract are going to be families. They're going to be looking for longer term stays, which for us as an investor, perfect. Lower occupancy, higher yields, higher returns. A winner all round. In terms of pricing then, so you can start to get your head around the pricing, it's one of the most affordable Ellington projects that they have done. You look at the comparables to Silicon Oasis, which is literally 10 minutes down the road. It's coming under that value. So you've got one bedroom starting at 1.2 million AED, and I always put the GBP in there for our British guys because I know there's a lot of UK investors that join in. So that's starting at about 270k Great British pounds. Your 2 beds 1.8, about 400k, and 3 beds starting at 2.4 million AED, which is about 535k. Now remember, you've got a payment plan. Typically, it's not been completely confirmed yet, but typically you'll put a 20% deposit down, 50% paid over the construction period, and your final 30% will be on completion on handover. The payment plans makes it accessible, it makes it affordable, it helps you budget and helps you cash flow. It gives you protection because you're not paying until they are at the stages of completion of the project. Now, these haven't officially been launched yet, but these will be launching this week. And this is why I want to give you a heads up on it early, because if you want to get in on this project, we need to follow the EOI process. So Ellington launches sell out, and they sell out quickly. Blink and you've missed them. Don't tell me I didn't warn you, okay? If you want to get in on a project like this, especially with Ellington, a world developer, similar with the likes of EMAR, all these really, really high-end developers, they have an absolute fan base that will just snap up whatever they build because they know and they have had the history that whatever they do, tenants well, it capital appreciates well, it ticks so many boxes, they're always in great locations, great build quality, it ticks a lot of boxes. So they have a massive fan base over here for these projects. So the way a launch works, if you're interested in the project, you put an EOI in. This is completely refundable, an expression of interest. Here they're looking at 200k AED. We're talking about 50k Great British pounds in to secure your place in the queue. Sounds wild, I know, okay? So you put your EOI in to secure your place in the queue. On launch day, which they've not exactly told us a day, but it's going to be in the next couple of days, by the end of the week, they will launch the project. Now, everyone who has put an EOI in will get first pick at the best units. So naturally, as an investor, we want to be in the best units in the best project, and the best units always sell out first. So putting your EOI in puts you at the top of the queue to secure those best units. On launch day, you then are allocated a unit. You have the complete and utter ability to say yes or no. If you're happy with the unit, you proceed, and that 200k goes towards that first down payment. If you are not happy with your unit or for whatever reason want to pull out, you're more than happy to do so. That 200k is completely refundable to give you that peace of mind. But if you're not in it, you can't win it. So that's the process. Great payment plan, great location, fantastic developments, ticking so many boxes. I know for a fact, me helping any client get into this, I can sleep well at night knowing they have got a fantastic investment that is going to capital appreciate while it's going to rent any day of the week. And I'd be very, very excited for you guys to get involved in that one. The one thing I would say though, if you are wanting to get involved in something like this, is we will need to be quick. We will need to be on it. So if you need any more information, if you want brochures, floor plans, anything like that, pop me a message. Use the links all around this video, in the bio, in the description. We would need to have a conversation ASAP so we can start that EOI process for you. As I said, it's all refundable. If you are interested or want any more information, let's have a conversation. If I can help you, I definitely will. We've got some great contacts at Ellington who will really, really try and get those best units for us and make it. But I'm really, really excited about that one this week. Next up, I wanted to move our attention to Ras Al Khaimah because this is getting so much attention. Last week, I was at a couple of briefings and I'm excited to share the latest of where we are at with this launch, with this master plan, everything that's going going on there. For those that this might be new to, Ras Al Khaimah is completely different Emirati to Dubai. It's about an hour's drive away. It isn't too far at all. This location started to get a lot of press, a lot of people talking about it at the start of last year. At the start of last year, the Win got granted and approved the first casino in the UAE, which is huge news. Gambling in the UAE has never been allowed before, and that's to do with religious reasons and everything like that. So the way they actually got around this was that they said, hey, listen, we know gambling's not allowed on God's earth and we completely respect the culture of that, absolutely. How would you feel about gambling being allowed on man-made islands? And this is Dubai, this is what they do. So, and that's how they got around the cultural issues that they've previously had. A gambling license was allowed. Win came in, and as soon as that did, so much attention from all across the world, all across the globe, came onto this particular island, the Marjan Island. It is honestly quite phenomenal, the impact this will have on this area. And from the day and moment that the Win was announced, obviously developers wanted a piece of the pie, investors wanted a piece of the pie, because you are buying in early to what's set to be the new Ibiza. It's going to be an incredible project. Let me dive into some of the details. Okay, so this is a fantastic map. I absolutely love this. So every single dot on here, believe it or not, is a new project. So when I tell you the scale and scope and size of the amount of projects going on is fast-paced and wild, now hopefully you can believe me. But this is a map of Dubai. This is the palm you all know and love. We scroll on down, you've got downtown. Okay, so if we keep scrolling on over, you then come across Rak. So it's about an hour away, it's not far at all. Then if we scroll in a little bit more, you can see this Al Marjan Islands. Now this whole section here, these 4 sections, are the man-made islands. Scroll out a little bit more, you will see there are some islands to the left of it with some developments on there, and also to the right. Either side of these are natural islands. They are being built out. Everything's being built out from this central point that they actually created. So this first bit here, this bit's actually Casino Island. On here, you're going to have the marina here, you're going to have the Win, restaurants, everything but residential. There's going to be nothing residential on there. So then we move across and you have the other options here. Now, the moment an hour that the Win was announced, all the developers wanted a piece of the pie, and all the major brands also wanted to be associated with this new project. So you will see all the huge brands, all the huge developers flock here. So you've got the likes of JW Marriott, you've got the likes of Elisab, you've got the likes of Emaar, you've got Nobu, you've got Nikki Beach, you have all the major players coming in here, which is always a good sign. I always say success leaves clues. If you know all the big brands, if you know all the governments are pouring a lot of money into this to make it a success, that it's going to be an incredible place to be a part of. Okay, so all the big brands, all the big players, and a lot of them have actually sold out now. You've got JW Marriott is probably one of the punchiest in terms of price per square foot. It's going to be a beautiful project, probably in one of the best locations because it's closest to the Win, the closest residential property to the Win, but the price definitely reflects that and is definitely one of the highest price per square foot. 2 projects I would definitely recommend you take a look at. Massa. Now the reason I like Massa is the price per square foot is one of the cheapest on the island, and so whilst it's one of the cheapest, you still get complete sea views. Every single apartment in that property gets sea views, which is a major plus for us as investors. Capital appreciation wise, waterfronting apartments and properties always outperforms percentage wise something that's not sea facing. So that's a massive tick box. Another reason I like this is the payment plan. You're sitting at under 2,000 price per square foot, which is absolutely phenomenal, unheard of. All the other projects in this island are much higher than that. JW, you're looking at double, triple, and buying into this project, you're only going to benefit from everyone else's higher prices, because when you come to resale, if you are surrounded by all the other prices, it naturally lifts the price of the price and the value of your property up as well. Again, another selling point of this is it's Q4 2026. A lot of the projects now handing over after the Win. The Win is flying up. They're at about, last time I checked, they were at 55% completion. I went down there myself. It is literally flying up. Rumor has it they are going to complete ahead of schedule, and Massa is one of the projects that would allowed you actually complete in line with the win. So you're going to be one of the first on the island to start to get tenants in and start to generate that cash flow, plus all the capital appreciation you have created in the meantime. Another one to mention then, is again a similar price point, a similar concept, is Ola. And I was down with the developers last week getting all the details for you. So Ola residence, this is sitting at about 2,000 price per square foot, which is slightly, and I mean marginally, more expensive than Massa. But I think there's a few reasons why. Firstly, these are all fully furnished, and I don't just mean dishwasher and sink, I mean furniture, sofas, beds, cutlery, plates, everything ready to go. As you can imagine, on this island, it's going to be an absolute hotspot for Airbnbs, short-term lets, because it's going to be full of holiday goers, tourism, and it's going to be an incredible way for you to maximize the yields. The yields expected on this island, quite frankly, are frightening. We're looking at 15-20% net yields for investors on an Airbnb based on a conservative occupancy. So this is going to be phenomenal for that. So Ola makes it very, very hands-off and very, very easy. It's an investor-led scheme for sure. The one thing I would say is probably the apartment sizes are slightly smaller than that of Massa. However, it comes fully furnished, it's completely ready to go, and makes it super, super easy for an investor who is wanting that completely hands-off experience but still wanting to benefit from the capital appreciations with short-term lets. So that's definitely a bonus there. Another reason this is getting a lot of attention is because it's one of the only projects on the island that is offering studio apartments. Now, because a lot of these properties are branded residents, a lot of the branded residents do not do studios because they don't want to be associated with the lower end of the market. Ola is one of the ones that are different, and you do have opportunities to get in studio, which usually means higher yields, higher returns, and a cheaper price point. The price points here are upwards from 1.2 million, so about 300k, 40-60 payment plans, which means you'd only need a 20% deposit down, 20% over the build period, and then you will be ready to complete when it comes to handover. There are so many different options on Al Marjan Island at all different price points, starting there and going right up to the high-end luxury side of things. I would say the one thing to watch out for here is that stock is now becoming very, very limited. There are a few launches that are rumored to come up, so if you do want a piece of rack, then I'd definitely get in earlier rather than later, because the price point with every launch just goes up and up and up. I'd say these two are the two opportunities to get in at the lower end of the price point to help you benefit from the capital appreciation. There is so much news and noise about the capital appreciation that is expected here. You have seen it on the Palm, we have seen it on downtown, the marina, we have seen it time and time again and again. This is one of those areas where you are buying in at the cheapest possible price point that it'll ever be when it's when you're buying straight from the developer. You can see here Arabian Business, Forbes, Construction Business News, they are all reporting how wild the capital appreciation is. When I was with the developers this week, they said they can expect price per square foot to go as high as 10,000 dirhams per square foot by the time it's handover and by its completion, which is 2027, 2028. So the returns you can see here is wild. It's definitely going to cash flow well, especially on the short-term lets. It ticks a lot of boxes. I'm very, very hyped about this area. It's getting a lot of attention, and if you do want in and you want in early, then I'd definitely jump on this too. So again, guys, I could chat all day about what's going on, but I just want to give you a flavour and some of the top things to think about so that you are in the know, you are up to date, you can make informed decisions, and you have all the information that you need to. If you have any other questions about these investments, other investments, or other property launches, do let me know. If I was to talk about every single launch that was happening this week, you wouldn't get me off the camera, okay? And I don't want to give you death by PowerPoint. So if you have any questions, if you want any more information about the Dubai market and the upcoming launches, then use the links around this video. More than happy to answer any questions or help you on your investment journey. I hope you found that helpful, and I will see you next week.